Recently, I had to make the hard decision to detox from the things in my life that were giving me easy dopamine with little work or none at all. And if you have that thing in your life that is enabling you to procrastinate or to push off that work you know you should be doing, not only for me, but this might be the video for you. Dopamine is what they call the feel-good neurotransmitter in your brain. Things like winning a game, learning new skills create dopamine in your brain, reinforcing your experience and helping you create the likelihood for you to seek and recreate those feel-good moments and activities. When we're low on dopamine, this is when people start to feel tired, unmotivated, even as much as experience depression, even when doing things we used to enjoy. Now, to be clear, dopamine is a good thing. It's a big reason why we don't forget to eat, work out, especially as creatives. It's the reason we strive to get better at our skills, to look to share it with others. But also, if we're not careful, it reinforces bad behavior and addiction that feels good initially, but is never quite good enough, lowering your tolerance, causing you to choose addiction eventually over what actually is best for you. Now, if I know this, how much more do things like social media, video games, anything built for entertainment and the retention of your attention plays a role in our intolerance to stay focused on the things we actually want to do. I recently had to action a plan against myself due to my poor choice in dopamine alternatives. I was becoming unmotivated in the things I know I ought to be doing, and more importantly, the things that I know that I want to be doing. Call of Duty messed me up. But look, it's not Call of Duty's fault. Of course, these games are set up with a reward system that keeps you coming back, keeps you playing. The same way in social media, when you scroll through your feed, the reward system of seeing new videos, seeing new things go viral, continually feeds us to never want to leave the platform. My life doesn't even support where I can just sit down and play for hours on end. So most people wouldn't call it an addiction, but I knew there were various moments I needed to get things done for myself. And I couldn't bring myself to sacrifice my Call of Duty time. That's when I knew it was a problem. So I'm all about application. So let's talk about what we can do once we determine what's going on and that we actually want to make a change. First step, identifying it, the self-awareness itself. Congratulations. Probably the most important step because it gets the ball rolling. Second step, this is where we now action a plan against it. Easy as a concept, hard to actually put into practice. This is where most people actually just fail entirely. Here are some things to try. Number one, setting up your environment to create friction of performing that bad habit. Using apps to limit where you can go online, blocking apps, removing apps entirely, changing work environments geared towards work only. That could be remodeling the place you already have, setting it up to remove any distractions out the place you already work, or it could be changing the actual physical place you work, going to a coffee shop, going to a new office. Something I suggest is doing a complete fast of the act itself. Now, what this is great at is making you aware of when and how you feel when you look to turn to that cheap dopamine. So I've heard of people addicted to Netflix or watching TV and series when they get stressed. They unplug the TV, they get rid of the TV. Someone who's addicted to junk food, they just don't keep it in the house. So when they get into that point at the end of the night, they open that fridge, there's nothing there. They're forced to just drink water or go to bed. And the toughest thing, but maybe the longest lasting thing, if you're able to practice consistently, is stimulus control. This idea of sitting with the feeling of performing the distraction. I would suggest treating yourself like a guinea pig. We're collecting data, we're trying things that work, we're dumping the rest. Not everything will work for everyone, and no one can tell you what works for yourself. So for you to build that awareness, build your toolkit. So whatever problem comes in your way, it's not gonna stop you from creating your best work, the work you know that you were meant to create. Go create, be great.